What's up, YouTube? It is your boy JB, and we are here today with two reviews this morning. The first one's going to be Love and Marriage Huntsville. This is season 4, you guys. We are back. Season 4, episode 1. Marcel Messy is the title of the episode, you guys. And that episode was a good one. And then the trailer for what's to happen this season on Love and Marriage Huntsville, spectacular. Carlos King, you did your thing again, buddy, right? And also, you guys, Saturday, I believe it says Saturday, May 12th, Love and Marriage DC with Monique Samuels. We'll have that, you guys. So we're going to be busy going into the summer. But hey, you guys, before we go ahead and jump into this review, if you guys are watching this video or any other on my channel and you guys are not subscribed to the channel, I'm going to need you guys to do me a solid favor and stop taking me out on this date and having me pay for it at the end of it. Now, you guys can do me that favor by liking the video, you guys, subscribe to my channel, turn on your post notifications, and also sharing the video, you guys. And with that out of the way, without further ado, you guys, let's go ahead and discuss Love and Marriage Huntsville, shall we? All right, you guys. So this episode, we open it up and we got Leticia and we got Marcel. So you know, Leticia and Marcel, they are out on a date with one another, right? So we find out that Marcel took a trip to Africa. That's right, guys. The continent of Africa. I was like, wait a minute. And, you know, Leticia was like, yeah, you know, you went to Africa and it took me a minute because I wasn't okay with that because I have never been to Africa before. And Marcel would have never been to Africa. The hell you mean? Marcel, come on. And then Marcel was sitting there talking about the fact that when he went to Africa, oh, you know, my phone didn't work in Africa. Nigga, what? You better find a payphone, a landline, something. You're going to have communication with me. But first of all, you wouldn't have went to fucking Africa without me. You going to go to Africa and leave me here with the kids? Nigga, no. And, you know, she's talking about that was a red flag. Yeah, I think Leticia's, I'm going to piggyback right now on what Mel said later in the episode. Girl, Leticia's reading them comments. She can say she ain't reading them comments. You're reading them comments, right? You're reading the comments, right? She's better than me because, like I said, Marcel would have never went to fucking Africa. You're on a whole, hell nah. Ain't no way. Absolutely not. You wouldn't take your black ass to no fucking Africa. If I'm not with you or the kids ain't with you, you ain't going. So he said he needed to get away because he said depression, right? I'm like, Marcel, you said last season you weren't depressed. Stop with that bullshit. Then he said, well, you know, I was depleted and he needed to basically refocus. So if you need to refocus and you want to do it by yourself, you can go to Atlanta, Miami, Vegas, New York, Texas, you know, Colorado. You know, there are a lot of places in the States that you can go to, you know, refocus yourself, right? Why the fuck did you have to go all the way to Africa? Like, that takes, how long does it take to get there? It's a good long flight to get to Africa. Nigga, absolutely not. So then Marcel says that he needs to get a assistant or a chief of staff, right? So Leticia says, does gender matter? Does sex matter? She said sex matter, but she mean gender matter, right? He says, well, I'm not getting a man. Well, then that means that the gender of your chief of staff matters. Here's the question that I gotta pose. If you because you asked her, why does it matter, right? Obviously it matters. Why do you, now granted, I'm not taking any opportunities away from women or from men, right? But we all know how chauvinistic Marcel can be, right? Why are you so adamant that it has to be a woman? I mean, women can do, granted, women can do things that a man can do, right? But in your case, with all the allegations that are, you just feed into them you literally just feed into this shit every time, right? So then, you know, they were talking about, you know, the post, her reading the comments on social media, right? And then, you know, she tells him that, you know, he was messy for posting that photo of the guy's trip in Atlanta, right? And you guys remember, oh God, that was a time, right? When Coleslaw, Ari and Curry, she remember, who was it that DM'd me that? I think it was Tracy. Actually, that's exactly who it was. Tracy, who DM'd me and literally, it was after I posted my review, right? After I posted my review, because I don't keep up with Ari and Curry. I really don't. Like, I know she's saying now, let's pause right here for just a brief second, right? So y'all know now that she's saying she has, thoughts of unliving herself, right? Because of the show. But then when you had your interview with Tasha K, you said they're using your likeness, right? I don't know how they're using your likeness with no photos, right? They were using your likeness. You grew up in a 2-parent household, girl, who gave you a diploma? And I mean a high school diploma, because whoever gave it to you, we need to go check their credentials, right? Because they failed. The public school system failed you, that you don't know what a 2-parent household is and what your likeness is, right? And I did see a live where she was talking about the fact that every Saturday they talking about her. They talking about her, right? You just want to be relevant, right? So Tisha says that, old girl she just want to be relevant. Tisha, I agree with you. Old girl does want to be relevant, right? But do you know what relevant means? Relevancy, you give people relevant, you make people relevant by discussing them, right? Kind of like how I'm talking about you, kind of like how I'm talking about her right now, right? That's making her relevant to my subscribers, right? You are talking about her on a television show that millions of us watch, right? You're saying she wants to be relevant. You're right, she wants to be relevant, but why are you talking about her if you know that? Say nothing about the girl, right? And Marcel even tells her to stop talking about her, right? Because at one point she brought up the comment that Arian made about her friend that's been with allegedly been messing with Marcel for years, right? But she won't come out because she's so in love with Marcel, right? Girl, let me point this out, right? Because I don't know who said it, right? Well, Tisha said it. She says all this stuff, but she has no evidence to back it up, right? But here's my other question and my issue with Arian about that friend of hers that is supposedly in love with Marcel, right? Girl, you see him on Saturday nights on OWN with his wife, right? If you so in love with him and you having an affair with him, bitch, why don't you stop? Because obviously, if this is true, this man doesn't. If this is true, right? Obviously, Marcel couldn't give a fuck about you, because he is on television on Saturday nights with his wife. Right? Playing the doting. Well, I can't say that. He's playing something with his wife. I don't know what he's playing, right? But he's playing something with his wife, right? And if you having this affair with him, girl, you should know by now that you are gum underneath the bottom of his shoe. You ain't even that. But if you still allegedly sleeping with the man, why? That's the only question that I have. Why would you continue to sleep with the man? That's, you know what? I guess I can't ask that question, because birds of a feather flock together, right? Because Arian is the dumbass who kept fucking with Marcel, and this man was on television calling her a goddamn peasant. He called her a peasant. I mean, girl, how much disrespect can y'all take? Like, how much disrespect can you take from a man? You shouldn't take any disrespect from it. I mean, no man or woman should be disrespected, but yeah, that's just dumb to me. Super duper dumb to me. Dumb, dumb, dumb. Dumb, dumb, dumb. But here's my thing with Marcel, right? I have a little issue with Mr. Marcel. Marcel doesn't want to talk about his shit, right? The shit that's out there in the blogs about him. But he's okay with talking about the other shit, right? You were okay posting that photo of Maurice in Atlanta with you guys, right? But when anybody brings up the stuff that's out there about Marcel having, the 2 kids, is it 2 kids? Because I done heard so many stories about Marcel, how many alleged kids he has, but you never want to delve into that, right? Now, I'm not saying that I'm not saying it is true or not true, right? Yeah, I'm not saying it. I'm definitely not saying that, but I'm just thinking like, damn, they've been on the show. This show's been on for 4 seasons, right? I always say when it comes to Marcel, because I'm not saying I don't. I know Marcel's not rich, right? He probably got money, but does he have enough money to keep us? Like, here's my thought process when it comes to Marcel, right? Does Marcel have the money to keep a quote side chick silent for all this for this amount of time, right? And I also feel that with Marcel, if Marcel did have a side chick, um, we would. I feel like we would have known about it right by now, right? Just the way we found out about Aryan, I feel like if Marcel had a side piece, we would have already done found out about it. But hey, you guys can definitely let me know what you guys think in the comment section, and we're gonna definitely discuss it as we move. We're gonna discuss it, right? So I'm gonna pause here, and we're gonna keep going. All right, you guys. So next up, we see Marcel. So Marcel went down to Lewis's gym, batting cage, whatever, right? So they working out, right? I gotta roll my eyes because Marcel, the forever victim, right? Oh, God, Marcel gets on my damn nerves. So Marcel is talking about how this last year has been really rough for him, right? Marcel, the only person that you can blame for your life being so rough is you. You are the only blame for your life, right? You're the one, like Mel said, you should have kept your penis in the house, Marcel. You definitely should have kept your penis in the house. So yeah, you only have yourself to blame. And then here he comes with the I always tell Mel to not delve into Marcel, so I'm gonna take my own advice and I'm not gonna I'm not gonna give into Marcel. I'm just not gonna give into Marcel. I cannot give into Marcel Holt, right? So Marcel is talking about the fact that Melody has 2 phones, right? And when he calls, I guess one is for the kids and one is just her personal phone, or maybe it could be her personal phone and her business phone, right? He's trying to blame her, right? Saying that she doesn't answer the phone. Maybe she doesn't want to have, you, thank you, God, because obviously Mel has been listening to us, right? Mel has been listening. Because, Marcel, would you answer the phone the way that you guys have been going at it for the last few seasons? Would you answer the phone for yourself, right? Because I would be like, you know what, Marcel is calling me. Ain't no way. I don't want to go back and forth with Marcel. I don't want to argue with Marcel, right? That was a complaint all last season, that Melody and Marcel argue so much. I just wouldn't want to put up with it. I wouldn't want to deal with it. So I do not blame Mel for not answering that phone when he calls, right? And the kids are old enough to the point where they can, except for the baby, right? But even I'm pretty sure the baby is smart enough to know, hey, if I want to talk to my daddy, I can tell my brothers and my brother and my sister, they can call daddy and we can talk. So the kids are old enough to be able to call Marcel, right? So then Marcel wants to bring up the fact of Mel cheating on him, right? Saying that, we did get it at the reunion, right? And this was when Mel moved out of the house, right? So at that point, when Mel moved out of the house, she felt like she was a single woman, right? She didn't know if she was gonna go back to her husband. So that's one of them great areas, right, you guys? I stay out of it, right? Especially when it comes to marriage. Like I always say, when it comes to a marriage, if you know for a fact that your marriage is over and you've moved out of the house, feel free to date, right? That's up to you. That's your choice, whatever you feel, right? But if you know that you're gonna go back to if you know that there's a potential that you guys could get back together, I would say don't date, right? But again, that is a personal choice for whoever's involved, right? So then Lewis says to Marcel, I appreciate you for stepping in for us at the reunion, because everybody was coming at us, right? So Marcel and Lewis want to sit here and play like they don't know why everybody was coming at them at the reunion. Lewis, we the fans and us reviewers came at you and your wife all last season, right? Why did we and the cast come at you? Because of Tiffany. And it's really interesting, right? We all don't care for Lewis because of his association with Tiffany being her husband, right? But your wife was going around all last season. Be transparent here. Be transparent here. Be transparent. Be transparent. Be transparent. Be transparent. But then she come at us with that bullshit ass story about her cheating when she was in high school, right? Like, your wife ain't transparent, but your wife wants everybody else to be transparent. So that's why Kimmy, Tisha, and Destiny came at your wife at the reunion. So don't play stupid. And then Marcel, you sit your ass over there and shut up, right? Talking about him and Mel have been the only two on the show that's been transparent. You and Mel were forced to be transparent. Let's keep that real, right? You were forced to be transparent because if you guys watch some of the behind the scenes stuff, they had already had, if you just listen, they already had issues before the show came along. They were trying to see if they could make the marriage work when the show came along. But they had already had issues. So Marcel, shut the fuck up. You know what? I told myself before I did this review, I wasn't gonna get all worked up behind Marcel, and I am not gonna work myself up behind no goddamn Marcel Holt. We're gonna move forward, you guys. We're gonna move forward. All right, guys. So then we see Kimmy, right? Yeah, we saw Kimmy. So Kimmy got a new dog. His name is Zeus. I was like, oh, he's so cute, right? So she's talking about how, dogs and kids, they give you unconditional love, right? And Maurice is like, and husbands, dogs and kids, and husbands. So then we talk about the whole situation with Marcel posting the photo from the guy's, Atlanta trip on social media, right? And Maurice believes that Marcel was being funny, which I do agree with him. Marcel was trying to be funny, and when he posted that, right? And like Kimmy said, we all knew that you guys went to Atlanta, so that wasn't the question, right? The question wasn't, did you guys go to Atlanta? The question really was at the reunion was posed, about being around Marcel and Arian, right? And you guys remember, she commented on, Marcel posted it. She got under the comments, right? And she went live. That little girl is something dumb. So Kimmy flat out asked Maurice, like, did you sleep with the linebacker, right? And she says, I don't need you to go around the world. Give me a straightforward yes or no answer, right? So Maurice said no, right? Do I believe Maurice? That's a good question. Do I believe Maurice, right? I'm going to keep it real with you guys. I don't think Kimmy believes Maurice. And we're going to talk about it a little later. I don't believe Kimmy 100% believes Maurice. But like I said, we'll talk about it in a few minutes. Now, I do like the fact that, Kimmy stood up for Leticia, right? She was like, when Marcel posts stuff like that, it affects his wife because then people come out and say certain stuff to her, right? I was like, that is so good that Kimmy is defending Leticia, because we all know Leticia ain't gonna do the same for Kimmy, because she did not do the same for Kimmy when she was talking to Marcel at dinner. She did not. But she always wants Kimmy to be this sister to her, this loyal sister to her. But Tisha never shows any kind of loyalty, right? So I'm gonna pause here, you guys, and we're gonna move forward. All right, you guys. So the next thing we saw the studio. I was like, oh God, it's got to be. I'm like, oh God, here we go. This is Mel in the studio. I'm like, okay, what new song Mel got? Then we look in the studio. I was like, oh my God, it's Destiny, right? And then she was singing. I was like, wait a minute. Because if you listen to Destiny in the booth and then you listen to the guy outside that's doing the song, I'm like, girl, that song is hella auto-tuned. Because I'm like, you don't sound shit like what that track sounds like. No shade to Destiny, right? No shade to Destiny. No shade to Destiny, right? But girl, you don't sound the same. So Leticia has come down to visit her, right? So, she asked her, so have you shown any of your friends your music? Mel, because Mel does music. So at this point, Mel and Mel and Destiny are not talking, right? They're still not talking, even after the reunion, right? So we also found out a little bit more about Destiny, and I'm like, Destiny, this is what we've been asking for from you too, right? We all wanted for Tiffany to be transparent, but we also wanted you to be transparent as well, right? And she was talking about how she was on public assistance. She went through her savings. She, went through her 401k. I was like, that is what we wanted, Destiny. And I'm like, wow, I empathize with Destiny because I've been in that situation where I had some money in my savings. I was on unemployment for a month. So I definitely understood that. All 2021, I definitely understood that. And I was like, this is a more relatable side of Destiny, right? I mean, we've gotten it over the last few seasons a more relatable side of Destiny. But and I also wonder with Destiny, was Destiny not able to talk about her legal her her marriage ending? Did LeBuick put like a cease and desist on her? Like, is that what he did? Did he do that? If you guys know, please let me know in the comment section and we'll discuss it, right? So Destiny talks about Mel, right? So they haven't talked since the reunion, right? So then we find out that when they were in LA for the reunion, that I guess Destiny and Melody's rooms were like side by side or something like that. So Mel overheard, Leticia and Destiny talking about her, right? And, Leticia was like, well, we weren't saying anything that hadn't been put out there and that was discussed on the stage. So then Destiny said that, when they got back to Huntsville, that she and Melody, they did talk, right? And that, Melody said, it ain't even about you talking about me. It was the fact that you were talking to my enemy. And I'm her enemy. I don't have no issues with Mel. I'm trying to think. I'm not taking no sides, right? Because we don't know. I don't know what really. We don't know what really happened. I wish Carlos had some cameras at the reunion. I really wish he had some. I really wish he had some cameras there, right? Because this seems, well, actually. Okay, let's think about this, right? Let's think about the reunion. Let's think about the reunion. Because I remember when Carlos asked for the questions for the reunion. I remember that. I remember when he asked for the questions on Instagram for the reunion. I definitely remember that. And I think after that, I think they may have filmed the reunion maybe 2 or 3 weeks later. I think they filmed the reunion 2 to 3 weeks after that. He asked them questions, right? I think. I'm trying to remember it. Because I had the time. I know the timeline. I actually know the timeline. It was a few weeks later that they filmed the reunion, right? And then after that, after they filmed the reunion, we had a few more episodes left to go of the season. We didn't have that many more episodes left of season 3. Damn, Carlos, why didn't you record that shit? Because we needed it. But hey, it's neither here nor there. So what we're going to have Leticia and Destiny's side and Mel's side this season. I can already see that, especially when it comes to the stuff that happened after the reunion. So I ain't taking no sides. I'm not on Tisha's side, I'm not on Destiny's side, and I'm not on Melody's side. I am neutral. I'm in the middle. I don't know what was said, because if you listen to what Melody said and what Destiny said and what Tisha says, the stories don't really, they kind of match, but they don't match 100%, right? But that's neither here nor there, right? So then we see Melody and Kimmy, right? So they are out making some charcuterie boards, right? I know it's charcuterie, you guys. I put charcuterie because I couldn't spell charcuterie. And I can admit that. I can't spell charcuterie. I can admit that. So they talk about the post that, that Marcel posted, right? And, Kimmy said that Mel reached out to her, right? So Melody asked her, well, do you believe it's true? Do you believe it's true, Kimmy? And Kimmy says, well, she says she asked Maurice, right? And he told her flat out no, right? And she says, but even if it did happen, we were dating at the time, right? But Melody was like, but you guys had already bought your home. So here's my thing. And I think what it is with Kimmy is, I'm not going to say Kimmy's trying to save face, right? I think what it is with Kimmy is, I think that Kimmy might, on some level, believe that it is a possibility that this could have happened, right? But I also feel like Kimmy is like, okay, well, if it did happen, Maurice and I at the time, we were not married to each other, right? We were still dating each other, right? So we hadn't. But see, here's the thing. If you guys had bought a house, y'all were dating, right? But if you guys had already bought a house at that point, you guys were very serious about your relationship. So if he was in Atlanta with them and, quote unquote, slept with the linebacker, why did she have to call that woman a linebacker? That's what I'm still stuck on. Why did she call the woman a linebacker? What are you, a wide receiver? A tight end? Like, that comment I did not like from Arian when she called that woman a linebacker. And I was thinking to myself, okay, if she's a linebacker, what does that make you? Tight end wide receiver, because you definitely ain't the quarterback, right? You're not the quarterback. But you're not the quarterback. Or your cornerback, you know, defensive end. What are you, girl? What are you? What are you? Like, I just didn't like that comment, right? But like I said, I just feel that with Kimmy, I feel Kimmy is just doing that. Like I said, once again, and I could be wrong, but I just feel like Kimmy was doing that to just kind of save, not save face for her or Maurice. I feel like she was doing that to kind of say, okay, because you know, people on we would do this, right? If we know something happened, we will make excuses to, you know, um, justify even forgiving them, because she said that you know, if he did cheat on her, I guess while in the marriage now, that it would be a deal breaker for her. But that would have been a deal breaker too, right? Like I just said, you guys had a house together and you were in a relationship. Now yes, you guys were dating, but you guys were very serious to the point that you guys bought a house together, right? So that's what I'm kind of sitting with right now, right? But let me know what you guys feel about that as well, right? So then Melody tells, you know, tells Kimmy, so I'm gonna be having a pajama party, and I want you to come, right? It's gonna be we're all gonna dress alike, so I'm gonna get it, and you know we're gonna dress alike, right? And I'm letting you know right now that I am not inviting Destiny and Leticia, right? And she's like, wait a minute, so you're not inviting Destiny and Leticia? No, I am not, and I don't want you to tell them either, right? So she says, oh, who's coming? My friends. Any friends that I know? Well, Tiffany's gonna be there. She's like, oh God. I was like, oh God, too, right? So then Melody tells her, so, you know, when we were out there in LA for the reunion, you know, I didn't know at the time, but me and Destiny's rooms were close together, and I heard Destiny and Leticia talking, right? And, you know, when they were talking, I heard Leticia say, yeah, you know, because is Mel a Sagittarius? Did she say a Sagittarius? Girl, I don't know them signs like that. So I believe she said a Sagittarius, right? And I was like, so if she said she's a Sagittarius, what does that mean? So she said, I went and knocked on the door and I told them, you might want to talk a little bit lower because I can hear your conversation. Okay. So then she said when they got back to Huntsville, she and Destiny talked, right? Now remember, Destiny said that they did talk, right? But Destiny said that the conversation was a lot different, right? Destiny says that Melody said she didn't, it wasn't about the fact that they were talking about her. It was the fact that she was talking to her enemy, right? But then Melody says that Destiny admitted that they were talking about her behind her back, right? So I don't know what's what, you guys. Let me know what you guys think, right? Let me know whose side you guys are on. I know a good majority of people are probably gonna be on Melody's side, right? I'm aware of that. You know, when it comes down to Melody and Leticia, right? I know I've said this before, and people have pointed this out to me. When I talk about the fact that Leticia is a mean girl, she is a mean girl, right? But someone pointed out to me, you know, Melody is also a mean girl. And I was like, you know what? You're right. I can't remember who that was that told me that Melody is a mean girl. But I've always said Mel was a bit of a mean girl, especially when she told Leticia to go down to the bar and see, you know, go down to the bar and check on Marcel, right? I was like, girl, that wasn't the move, right? But then, where am I going with this thought? Okay, Leticia's a mean girl, so is Mel. I lost my train of thought. Oh, okay, I know where I was going, right? And the person also pointed out to me the reason why I think a lot of us have been on Melody's side these last few seasons is because we literally cannot stand Marcel Holt. And I had to agree with that. I'm like, yep, that is true, right? I feel, but in this situation, I don't know who. I just don't know I don't know, right? What to think and what to believe, right? Not what to believe. I don't know what to think, right? Because all Melody said was that she heard Tisha say, yeah, Mel's a Sagittarius. Well, that's not talking shit about you, right? That's just saying your name and saying your sign, right? And possibly what could have happened is they could have been like, you know, that's probably why she acted the way she was acting on stage toward Marcel, because you know Mel is a Sagittarius, and you know how them Sagittarius, we say that all the time, right? Like people make jokes about my sign, the Cancers, right? They be like, oh, you know how them Cancers are, they're gonna be crying on their birthday, right? I hate seeing it every year. I literally hate seeing that every fucking year. People always want to make fun of us cancers, talking about, oh, y'all probably gonna be crying on y'all birthdays. Go to hell. I never cry on my birthday. I have fun for my birthday. So it could have been something like that, right? It doesn't it doesn't necessarily mean that they were just talking cash money shit about you, right? But hey, it is what it is. Let me know, again, get down in the comment section and let me know whose side you guys are on, right? And let me know what you guys think. I think I kind of, y'all gonna probably hate me, right? But I gotta say what I gotta say. We say, as I always say over here on this channel, we say what we say, but we keep it nice, right? So I just feel that Mel might have overreacted a little bit. But again, you guys can let me know. So then the last thing in the episode, we see the Scotts, right? So we see Marcel, Maurice, Kimmy, Leticia, their brother Micah, and his wife, right? So they're having dinner, right? Baby Kimmy came out the gate swinging at old Marcel, right? She was like, so Marcel, why did you post that picture on Instagram, right? So he said he thought he was being funny, but he didn't realize, he didn't think about the magnitude of posting it, right? And he didn't think that she would get caught in the crossfire or something like that, right? I'm like, what? You literally just sat here and you blasted your brother, right? By posting his picture. You didn't think his wife would get caught in the crossfire? And then you know how the mother of Marcel's kid is? You know how petty she is? You know what, Marcel? Go to hell. I would say respectfully go to hell. No, just go to hell. But that's it, you guys. That's the first episode of Love and Marriage Huntsville, Season 4, Episode 1, you guys. Get down in the comment section and let me know what you guys thought about this episode. Whew. Leave your comments, subscribe to the channel, turn on your notifications, and share the video. And you guys, that is it. I'll see you guys in the next one. Until then, you guys, stay safe out there. Take care of yourselves. Remember to wash your hands, you guys. Wear a mask, socially distance, be blessed, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.